The release of Suicide Squad was, by any metric, a total disaster. Rocksteady's previous game, Batman Arkham Knight, may have been a little divisive at launch, but the game sold gangbusters and cemented their legacy as a top-tier development studio. They could have done anything, but somebody, somewhere, probably in the upper echelons of Warner Brothers, Inc., put them to work on a live service Suicide Squad game, and the rest is unfortunately history. This game was in development for 7 years, cost at least $100 million to make, and when it came out, nobody cared. On Steam, the player count peaked at 13,459 players and has since dropped to around 600 on average. It barely charted on Xbox and PlayStation. UK sales were pretty soft, and Warner Brothers straight up said the game has fallen short of our expectations during a financial service call. For a live service game, that is not good. It's significantly worse than how Avengers performed when it came out, and that game is considered a total failure by Square Enix and, everyone else. And in pretty much every way, Suicide Squad has done much worse. It may end up being one of the biggest video game bombs of all time. I think I said this in a previous video about these live service games. The point is to attract whales. That's where the real money is. But I don't think you can attract whales to like a dead game with 600 people in it. And I think that's a lesson that a bunch of these companies are having to learn. Because for a live service game, player retention is like the most important thing. If nobody's playing the game, there's no reason to keep the service element of it going. That's how these games make their money in the long run. And so it's in Rocksteady's best interest to do something, anything to turn this game around and bring players back for the long haul. Season 1 was their first, best, and possibly only chance to save this game. If they came out hard with lots of new content, missions, and modes, they would be at least maybe be able to prove that they're serious about supporting the game in the long term, and that the meager amount of content in the main game is just because they were saving all the good stuff for the updates, and this was not how it played out. And, the pre-release stuff didn't inspire a lot of confidence, but at least they were doing something interesting. Like, they brought the Joker back. He is literally a playable character. So maybe there was a chance Rocksteady could pull this off? No, we all know that's not what happened. Season 1 has been out for a week, and we all know how things actually went down at this point. Everyone hated it. Even many of the game's most ardent defenders couldn't bring themselves to try to justify how miserable and bare bones Season 1 is. It is without any hyperbole, and I stress this, one of the worst additions to a live service game I have ever played. Even if the Joker is actually kind of fun to control.
You don't want to rescue my Joker, and I don't plan to relinquish him.
That's right. Quit while you're ahead.
You see, the problem here is all other things. Things do not start well. The game starts with one of the cheapest motion comic cutscenes I have ever seen. It's meant to be our big introduction to the first actual season of the game. This thing, it's meant to herald the start of the live service content.
But you know what they say about good intentions. You can't kill them all!
Looks like something out of Kong Skull Island. Like, I guess it's technically maybe a step up from that Walking Dead game with the bad cutscenes, but not by a lot. Like, these are the types of cutscenes you see in the most bottom-of-the-barrel shovelware type stuff. Or also Redfall, if you don't define it as that. I don't know, they put a lot of money into Redfall for no good reason. Like, there's good motion comic style intros out there, but this is not one of them. You see something like this, and all anyone is going to think is that the developers just didn't care enough to make a real cutscene. And if the people making the game don't care, why are we supposed to care? It may sound like I'm exaggerating, but honestly, look at it. It is hideous. The Joker looks like an adult alfalfa. Like, what did they do here? Look how they slaughtered my boy. I don't want to front load this with a ton of Joker talk, but it's kind of unavoidable. Who signed off on this design? I mean, yeah, tastes are subjective and all that, but this is kind of, it's past what is fine. He is absurdly over-designed, even in comparison to other characters in this game. Everyone else looks vaguely like real people in costumes, but this guy looks like a cartoon. The motion comic intro does not do him favors, might I add. In-game, he's slightly more tolerable to look at, but not here. Once that experiment in aversion therapy is over with, the game bombards you with pop-ups showing all the exciting new things in the expansion. It's just one new screen after another showing all this stuff that's going to be in the new season. Wowie, wow, wow. New weapons to unlock. A new status effect. Cool. Oh, more Riddler challenges. Well, I can't wait to do those. Is there anything else? Oh, 6 quote-unquote new incursions, which are slightly altered versions of the same incursions that were already in the game. Hold on, here's something. It says there's new strongholds. That's interesting. Oh, sorry, those aren't until episode 2. What, you thought they'd give you the entire season of content at once? You fool? Are you crazy? This is episode 1. They're gonna add the rest of the content later. Where have I heard that before? All right, so where's the Joker? Oh, you have to unlock him. The big new character in the DLC that's meant to bring players back in, and you don't even get him at the start of the season. Instead, you have to grind up to your episode rank to unlock the Joker. Everybody starts at 0, so you have to get to rank 35 to access the mission to get the Joker. Rank 35. The only way to increase your season rank is to grind, and also to grind. Incursions and random patrol missions give you 1 rank each. Sometimes more if the mission takes longer, but there are some missions that do not even net you a full rank. Oh yeah, and incursions cost points to enter, so you have to pay up every time. I cannot overstate how boring and tedious this all is. There is nothing new or interesting to do. You're just doing the same old nest exterminations, car transports, and random patrols, and everything else that was already in the game again, only now there's some Joker-themed crap around the city for some reason. I guess it's supposed to be a Joker-themed Elseworld or something. There's like presents and wrapping paper around, which is like, you know, Santa's domain rather than the Joker. Some giant playing cards around. Like, it's like when games add seasonal Christmas stuff. I really don't know what any of this is supposed to add or even really what it is. And the grind is painful. The game does give you a way to skip it, though. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Can you guess how? Can you guess how? You can just go into the store and straight up buy the Joker for $10 using Luther coins. Seriously, Luther coins. That's what they're calling the currency. You can just skip the grind for a nominal fee. And man, is it tempting because holy hell, the grind is bad. They've done nothing to speed up the results screens whenever you finish a mission either, so you're always stuck waiting, staring at the screen while your character gives a pointless thumbs up, and we slowly get gear unlocks that are probably all worse than what we already have, and the game taunts you with these seasonal progress things that would make the continental drift seem like speedy progress, and finally the game lets you do something else. Listen, I know there are people on Reddit that say unlocking the Joker is easy. They say it doesn't take that long, and that people like me are exaggerating about how bad the unlock progress is, and you know what? I'm not gonna say they're wrong. But they were able to grind out the necessary ranks pretty quickly because they've been playing and enjoying the game. That is in contrast to me, who beat Brainiac, then promptly noped out of the game without the intention of playing it more. I didn't even have a max level character going into Season 1. My situation was not ideal, and because of that, it took me way more than an hour and a half to get to level 35. Way longer. Like 4 hours plus, which is way too long to spend grinding the same half dozen missions over and over. I was probably doing something wrong. Fine, I know, I accept that. But seriously, even if it did only take 90 minutes, that is unacceptable. This stuff got old in the main game where you only had to do it once or twice. Suicide Squad has barely enough content for the 12 hours or so it takes to finish the campaign, yet it somehow expects us to grind for potentially hundreds of hours more. To actually unlock Joker, you still have to beat Brainiac again. Only instead of just being a reskinned Flash fight, it's now a reskinned Green Lantern fight. And I have to wonder, what's Rocksteady going to do when they run out of bosses to recycle? Just recycle them again? So you unlock the Joker, and there it is, the first and only actual cutscene in the game, and it's bizarre. The Joker never actually interacts with the other characters, including Harley Quinn. They all sort of just talk around him, and then he talks to himself. It's really disjointed and weird. At least playing as the Joker is legitimately pretty fun. Like, he plays like everyone else. It is a shooter after all, but the movement powers are good. Like, they're fun to use. He has a rocket that you can use twice to jump high up. He has an umbrella that lets you glide through the air, also doubles as a rocket board. I don't know why the Joker's main tool is an umbrella over like the Penguin, who famously uses umbrellas, but whatever works. Fine. You'd think the addition of the Joker would add some interesting banter to the team, but he's weirdly quiet. Even past the cutscene, nobody in the game really acknowledges him or responds to him. He's got the fewest lines by far. Mechanically, I think there's something to the character, but with everything else, from the narrative to the dialogue to the design, it falls really flat. Basically, all this season has going for it is the Joker, and they don't just give you the Joker. They make you do some really tedious work to get him. Compare that to the Avengers, which just lets you use new characters right away. Remember how bad we were all dunking on that game? Yeah, it can get worse. Like, the Avengers is the lowest bar to clear, and compared to it, the entire season looks bad. In Avengers, at least the new characters like Hawkeye and Black Panther got their own missions. They got new enemies and bosses and mechanics. They didn't force you to grind the same missions over and over just to get the privilege of unlocking a new character. But you do here in Suicide Squad. To top off the parade of disappointment, the newly introduced Battle Pass, look at it. There are free and paid versions, 76 tiers, and an eternity of grinding. Every single tier costs 1,000 BP to unlock. And do you know how much BP you get from most of these missions? 50. That's 20 missions to complete one Battle Pass tier, and there are 76 of them. There are ways to speed the process up. Completing contracts is probably the fastest way to get a lot of BP, but it's still an ungodly grind because, as already established, there's just not that much to actually do in this game. At least the Battle Pass doesn't expire. That's something, I guess. Most of the stuff is just, it's junk too. There's like one new costume for each character and a lot of reskins. Oh, and there are banners though, so totally worth it, right? Wait a second, where's Captain Boomerang's costume? Everyone else got a new one, but for some reason, he's not on the pass at all. They just didn't give him a costume. Incredible. I think you get the idea. Rocksteady had to prove a lot with the first season. Like, this was their opportunity to put their best foot forward and show the world what this game really was built for. Like, actual new missions, substantial cutscenes, new enemies, interesting rewards that, I mean, seem like obvious additions. Could have done something in terms of goodwill. They didn't even really have to go nuts either. If there was one solid Joker-focused mission where you rescue him from Brainiac, there would be at least something memorable here. If this is seriously the best Rocksteady is capable of now, they have really fallen on hard times. Player counts bounced up a little bit when the season launched, but most of those players didn't stick around because there's just not enough to do here to keep people playing. To misquote Biblo, the game is like butter scraped over too much bread. It's thin and unsubstantial, and adding a cheap Joker garnish isn't going to do anything. It's not going to fix it. Right now, the rumors say the game won't last past Season 5, with each season lasting 3 months divided into 2 6-week episodes. That'll put the support for the game at just over a year, which probably covered the amount of content they made for the game already. Frankly, I'm not really 100% sure how this game is going to last even to that point. Maybe the dozen people playing by then will appreciate the work that Rocksteady puts into the game to keep it alive. But at this point, I'd rather they just move on to something that is, not this. Just get offline mode up and running and pull the plug. Because if the seasonal content is just going to be this lame, why? Why bother? Like, the player count isn't going to get any better. Season of Joker Episode 1 Fear was a total bust. And this new Joker is, other than mechanically speaking, just the worst. Like, look at him. All that grinding and this is what we get? Do you want to see a magic trick? I can make the Joker disappear. Yeah, I didn't do the voice. I figured it'd be better not to try to do the voice. That's all for today. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications. And as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter at Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time right here on gameranx.